Hi Taurus, I'm Anisha. You can write to me at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. And this is your annual forecast for 2012 with a lot of focus being there on the latter part of the year. Taurians, it's a brilliant year for you, especially with Jupiter, that is the Lord and Master of expansion. He's going to be there in your chart. And this is post a 12-year cycle that he comes into your chart. Now, we are going to be starting looking at your career and work. So let's see what does this year have in store for you. You have had Neptune that has been there in your 10th house for a very long time, and Neptune being there in your 10th house, that is a house of your career, it's a house of reputation. There could have been somewhat a lack of clarity on your way ahead, and now with Neptune moving ahead out of your 10th house, and it moved in the first half of the year, that is around February is when Neptune moved out of your 10th house. It has all of a sudden, it seems as if there's a lot of clarity on your career direction, on your work direction. It's you will have a sense of things at your work place just open, or for some of you who have been sort of trying to think as to which line you should choose, or what is it that you should do, or where is it that you work, or which line you should choose, or which industry you should choose. With the Neptune shift, there will be a lot of clarity that will come your way. There is also Jupiter, that is your planet of expansion, and he's come and sat in your second house, that is a house of resources, earned income, and that's the best place for Jupiter to be in. And Jupiter is here after a 12-year cycle, and it's going to be here for the entire year. So make good use of this opportunity, Taurians. Try not to waste this time, and utilize the goodness and expansiveness of Jupiter to the max. Also, I would like to say that try and explore all ideas that may have got either left on a side unexplored because you thought that either there was not enough funding or the time was not right. It's a great time to be picking up incomplete projects, or even I would say seeking of funding, or even for those of you who have been wanting to start up on your own. It's a brilliant year for you, Taurians, so go ahead and do that. On November 28th, we have a lunar eclipse, and this is a time where it is going to be highlighting your second house again, that is the house of your earned income, and it is going to be stabilizing, has some form of a completion around this time. So maybe there could be some funding, there could be some investments, or some amount, or it could also mean that you could have a sense of really finally where your finances are going, or a realistic assessment of your finances, so to speak. It has a stabilizing, the eclipse will have a stabilizing effect on your finances. On your love and relationship, Taurians, now Mars has been, was rather retrograde from Jan, and it carried on being there till April, and it was retrograde in your 5th house, that is the house of love, romance, and children. And some of you could have been, I think, trying to sort things out. Some of you could have revisited the past, and if there were issues that were lying pending, you would have sorted them out. I think some of you could also be having some amount of a negotiation, or some amount of a argument with a child, and this is also rather the first half also would have been a great time for you to be sitting and speaking with your children. Now Saturn is going to be entering your 7th house on October 5th, and Saturn is again all about restriction, confinement, and he's a hard taskmaster, but then along with it he also brings about responsibility, he brings about structure, and I think he finally leaves you with a great sense of clarity, a lot of crystallization on what it is that you really want in life. And Saturn moving into your 7th house, and this is going to be 2.5 years circle, so he's going to be there till about 2015 in your chart in your 7th house. there's going to be some amount of, I would say, a closet cleaning as far as your closest relationships are concerned. You are going to be looking at your closest relationships and doing away with patterns that are no longer required, or even I would say that it also speaks of some amount of illegality, contracts, some amount of a commitment. It could also have to do with maybe some of you have been negotiating with a partner, or it could be a partnership for quite some time, and the focus could be on that. And this, like I said, it's starting October 5th, and the cycle carries on for about 2.5 years. And Saturn is going to be eventually bringing about stability, clarity into your relationships. It is going to force you to look at things that maybe you have acknowledged them before, but you have not done much about it, Taurians. So it's overall a brilliant year for you, Taurians. I think with Jupiter being there in your second house, and with Saturn moving into the most important aspect in your chart, it is a time for expansion, and at the same time it is also a great year for crystallizing as to what it is that you really want out of this year. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon.